Street. They say some stories are born in whispers, others in the clang of a prison door. This one was born in a breakout. Meet Tony, professional smuggler, freshly escaped from a Sicilian fortress with nothing but a pocketful of encrypted flash drives and a broken compass tattooed on his wrist. The needle snapped, pointing nowhere, a perfect symbol for a man who believed he was master of his own fate, disconnected from any grand design. But the tattoo held a secret, a faint echo of a myth he was trying to forget, the myth of Otero. He thought he could lose himself in the chaos of Africa. He landed at Jomo Kenyatta Airport in Nairobi, a ghost aiming for the anonymity of the crowd. He was looking for a quiet ride, a way to disappear. Instead, destiny, with a wicked sense of humor, sent him a bus. But this wasn't just any bus. This was a matatu, a living, breathing piece of Nairobi street art, pulsing with bass and neon lights. They called it the Matatu of Destiny, a mythic vehicle whispered to travel not just on roads, but through stories, through realms. And as Tony climbed aboard, he stepped out of his world and into a legend. The passengers weren't your everyday commuters. In one corner, a Kikuyu cyber shaman, his fingers dancing over a glowing tablet, weaving digital spirits. Across from him, a Baltic poet, his eyes filled with the cold sorrow of a northern sea, scribbling verse on a crumpled napkin. In the back, a Congolese jazz prophet let a mournful saxophone solo cry out the future. And then there was her, Nyambura. She had eyes that held the history of the sun and the moon, and she introduced herself simply as the daughter of Otero. As the matatu rumbled on, a man known only as the bard from the Arboretum began to sing, his voice threading together the stories of everyone on board, weaving a tapestry of myth and fate. Tony tried to keep to himself, but Nyambura's gaze was relentless. She leaned in, her voice a low murmur against the thrum of the engine. "You carry the ballad of Otero," she said. Tony scoffed, thinking she meant a song. Nyambura shook her head. "It was never a song, Tony, it's a virus. A story that infects its carriers. And you? You're the latest host, unknowingly carrying the myth forward." Just then the matatu swerved. The familiar tarmac of the Nairobi-Mombasa highway dissolved. They weren't driving on a road anymore. They were driving through memory, through prophecy, through landscapes of half-forgotten dreams. And then, as suddenly as it began, they arrived. The air, thick with salt and spice, told them they were in Mombasa Old Town. Tony knew what he had to find here, the Mirage Vault, a chamber of secrets buried deep beneath the ancient stones of Fort Jesus, where the final truth of Otero was said to lie. But he wasn't the only